Good day and welcome to SCO BRICS Insight, where we talk about what's really going on in the world of the BRICS. Now today I want to talk about the automotive sector and how the transition to electric vehicles has changed the sector completely, and how the traditional leaders in the global sector have lost their positions. In the last 2 years, the Chinese automotive manufacturers have been causing absolute carnage across the global automotive sector, from Germany to France, the USA and Japan, with companies like Volkswagen, BMW and Mercedes-Benz in Germany closing plants and laying off workers in the tens of thousands. It's the same story in France and the USA too. And now Japan's really feeling the pain. Nissan, the Japanese automotive manufacturer, is facing significant challenges, and that asks questions about the company's future viability financially. Now, to avoid complete collapse, it's decided to merge with two other Japanese automotive manufacturers, namely Honda and Mitsubishi. Now, this strategic move, similar to the precedent set by Nissan's merger with Renault, the French company, 25 years ago, is aimed to address the challenges faced by the company. However, the question remains, what caused Nissan's sales to collapse so dramatically, and what are the implications of its substantial debt? Now, the Japanese automakers Honda and Nissan have signed a memorandum of understanding to merge their auto businesses. A final agreement is expected to be reached in 2025. Now, the creation of a joint holding company is expected to combine the operations of both automakers, with the merger expected to be completed by August 2026. Now, the result will be the third largest global automotive company in terms of sales. Well, maybe. Honda sold 3.98 million cars last year, while Nissan sold 3.37. Now, Toyota will retain its leading position with 11.3 million cars sold, with Volkswagen in second place with 9 million. However, the German manufacturer is facing significant challenges of its own. It's closing plants and laying off workers, so we'll see if that figure lasts. Now, a third Japanese manufacturer, Mitsubishi, may join the other two Japanese, and they've got to make a decision by the end of January next month. Now, the strategic move by the Japanese automakers is driven by a period of sustained success, but by the need to maintain competitiveness in face of the intense competition from the Chinese automotive industry. Just 5 or 10 years ago, Chinese cars were not considered serious competition in the market. However, they've not only grown rapidly, but they've also surpassed the traditional leading automakers worldwide in terms of quality and reputation. Now, before I continue, I'd like to make an appeal. If you like and enjoy my videos, you can help me fund my channel and my website, SCOBRICSinsight.com, to further develop it. Now, you can do this by making a small donation, which can be done by clicking on the thanks button at the bottom of the screen. Everybody who donates does get a personal thank you from me, and I'm thanking you all now just for joining me, because every view is important. Now, Nissan's been particularly affected with a huge decrease in sales in its first half of 2024 compared to the previous year, and a 70% decrease in its full year operating profit forecast. Now, a quarter of a century ago, Nissan faced the prospect of bankruptcy. However, the Japanese automotive industry received a significant financial boost from the French government-owned manufacturer Renault, which provided the financial support to Nissan. Now, currently, Nissan is seeking to survive with the support of Honda. Now, the high cost of electric vehicles and the disproportionately low return on sales have left Nissan with a huge debt burden. The company has $1.6 billion in debt to pay off in 2025, which is slightly less than this year. However, 2026, a significant $5.6 billion in bonds will become due. That's the most since 1996, and Nissan's management is aware that the company is not going to be able to settle its debts independently given the decline in sales and its operating profits. Consequently, they see no other way out than to seek the support of somebody else, and that means Honda. This approach aligns with the previous strategic decision that actually worked. Now, the last time the Japanese company didn't drag itself out of the threat of bankruptcy, but decided to lay off some straw for itself in advance. Now the question remains, what will become of Nissan's automotive division given the significant drop in its sales? Now, the Japanese blame their problems on their Chinese competitors, BYD and the American Tesla, for the decline in sales, noting the latter's domination of the global electric vehicle market and its initiation of a price war last year. Their sales have increased significantly, while the Japanese rivals have been able to offer competitive prices due to substantial costs associated with developing the electric vehicle technology. Now, the market's undergoing rapid technological changes, and Nissan has struggled to keep pace. Last year, China overtook Japan to be the world's largest exporter of automobiles for the first time. And it's noteworthy that the US and the EU have adopted a protective stance against electric vehicles from China, which are gaining market share due to their price competitiveness and quality. Now, Russia's contributed to this shift. I've seen a huge number of new Chinese cars on the road, and their deliveries to Russia have increased, while the Japanese and Western automakers actually left the country and left the market to these Chinese in there. Now, the strengthening of the Japanese auto industry is unlikely to be a source of the satisfaction for the United States in their newly elected president, who's threatened to impose high tariffs on Chinese cars supplied through Canada and Mexico. Now, Washington, as we know, is averse to the emergence of new competitors in the automotive sector, and it's interesting to note that the European Union initiated the green agenda and the transition from petrol engine cars to electric cars, and they didn't actually understand the impact. However, when China began to produce more electric cars, solar panels and wind turbines at lower prices, this scared the pants off the EU. Now, there's a specific Western business that's unhappy about its market share to China, and that is the one behind the green agenda. Chinese cars have been making a significant presence on the global market. The Chinese automotive industry has developed a capacity for producing vehicles of a high standard, equipped with a wide range of features, and they're known for their rapid delivery times. Okay, there's been some complaints about the quality, but I haven't heard too many. And the cars are very popular because they're cost effective, which is a key advantage, prompting the Japanese manufacturers to look to collaborate in order to try and survive, says Maria Alimova, who's the Director of Sustainable Development at the Russian University of Economics. Now, what you have to understand is that Chinese are quick to look at market trends and work out how to incorporate the most popular technologies to attract buyers. If other concerns do not improve, it's highly likely that Chinese automakers will become the undisputed market leaders in the near future. What you have to look at is they will reduce the costs of developing new car models, purchasing of components and equipment. Secondly, they'll strengthen the position of their companies in the market, making it easier for them to attract investment for further development. Thirdly, the companies can support each other in different markets and produce and promote the products of their partners. Now, in my opinion, the brands of the Japanese companies will stay. They'll be preserved for several years, and as any new brand of a united company will not be created immediately. Consumers are accustomed to cars of these brands, and it would be illogical for them to abandon them and try and come up with something as a collaborative brand. If there is a new united brand, it's going to likely develop in parallel with the existing brands of the companies. Now, preserving the technological platforms of these companies is also likely, as abandoning those that they've currently developed would be illogical. Now, when developing new cars, the best engineering solutions of one of the manufacturers will be selected. Which one? But obviously the one recognised as the best, and each company will then supplement them with their own developments. Now, while the technical solutions and characteristics of new cars will be similar, the design and consumer properties will differ to emphasise their origin. Now, I anticipate that a partnership could either be terminated after a few years or alternatively expanded, like the Russia Renault Honda. through the addition of new companies joining it or not. Now, the traditional automotive factors, as we know, have now gone the way of the dodo, and it's not just Europe, it's not just Japan, the US, etc. They're all being taken over by a far, far better competitor out of China, and they are producing something of quality, I see, here in Russia, and I can see them building it. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and if you want to help me out, make a donation, and I'll see you all again soon. Thank you. Merry Christmas.